basically there is a continuum of consciousness, and that there's the infinite oneness where all is one. And then there's the place we are, really is almost the other end, where we have individual separate consciousness and see everything as other. And now, in order for us, according to the tradition, in order for us to be able to have that experience, you have the process they call tzimtzum, which is that God had to put veils, walls, barriers between the infinite and the finite. And each level was another barrier. And each time that happened, there was more and more distance between that consciousness of oneness and the consciousness of the creation, until you got to the point where there was enough levels between us that we existed. And so that allows us to at least have the illusion that we're separate beings making our own decisions, and have the whole paradox of free will and everything that goes with it. But that then also gives us the unique capacity to using our separate individual conscious awareness to then try and move back into that oneness. And so, like, the first long part of our journey as souls is becoming fully individualized, fully our separate self. Then you begin your spiritual journey, which is the opposite direction, divesting yourself of that separateness, but holding on to that through that individual awareness and going more and more into the oneness. And as if God's lifting those veils. And all the idea of the soul is consciousness. And each level is really an expression of another level of consciousness, which is more into that place of expansion and oneness of being. And so we're journeying more and more into that place and everything that comes with that expanded consciousness. And so this meditation is about really trying to take us through whatever level of that process we can reach by looking through that spectrum. We start with our individual personality, we move into the individual soul, which is already beyond the personality, that can go from life to life, gain wisdom, that's got a connection to a greater soul, and that has a whole other level of consciousness it works in. And then we move out into the soul family, where you're living in a larger group, where you feel your total oneness with everyone in that group. They are you and you are they. And then you move out into that greater expanses of the Chaya, which is another state of consciousness, when you realize that there are just infinite beings that you're part of, or hundreds and thousands, and you're part of a whole greater mission. You're part of a consciousness that embodies a divine idea and is trying to bring it and birth it in the world. And then you move beyond that into that universal consciousness that takes you into the boundaries of the infinite, that contains all life, all being, all oneness. And then beyond that's in the place of oneness that we can't even describe, where there's simply no other and just the one. So that's really the journey. Because in reality, there is no up and down, etc. But we just are physical beings that live in a physical space-time continuum, and we need a way of relating to it. So we think of up, because our life is set up. You look up, you see the expanse of the heavens, you're out to the other planets. So up to us is ascension. And we even use the word ascension, and it's ascension because you're moving into greater expanses. You're moving into higher states of consciousness. You're moving into ever more fully experience who you really are.